We are here today in a 2011 Dinan equipped 550i, where we're going to tackle a new stage 1 speaker upgrade. We're going to start here on our center channel just to instill a little confidence in you so that as we move backwards it gets progressively easier. As always, we only use our plastic panel removal tools when taking on the dashboard. So very carefully, you'll see there's a seam up here on either side. We take our plastic panel tool, we get down underneath there, and we just kind of work it around. And if you're watching this video in 2018 or 2020, something like that, be super careful because this plastic will have likely become quite brittle by then. But for now, all's well. Now, once we get it started, we want to use our fingers as much as possible just to keep things safe. Lift it right out. Voila. This reveals our mid-range and tweeter. It's attached using 3 Torx T25 bolts. The tweeter is also attached using 2 right there. So again, this is very straightforward. Now's the time where you can check your email, take a phone call. This is pretty boring. Let's get this guy out of here. But so we get it started like so. Finish up with our fingers. Don't drop these down in that dashboard. You will regret it every day of your life as they rattle around endlessly in the bottom of your dashboard. So you see, we've got a little plug here. The tweeter is going to come up under here, plug in as well. We just pop them both out like so. Kind of frees up the area. So we have our factory speaker. We have our Bavsound upgrade. As you can see, this car, this had only been in the sunshine for about 6 months, and the paper is already pretty much faded out altogether, and the cone is nice and brittle, ready to be destroyed. No longer is that a concern with the new Bavsound drivers. So pretty neat little upgrade there. We've got, so with that out of the picture, first thing we do, we take our tweeter, drop it in the hole over here, like so. We bring the tweeter up. You see here we have the corresponding tweeter plug. Let's see if I can't show this over here as well. Take the second camera. So you can see we just plug in like so. It's pretty hard to goof that up. We take the factory plug coming from the dashboard itself, plug it in to the blue connector on the mid-range driver, and we are done. We drop the speaker down into the dash. Voila! Center channel upgrade is completed, minus of course a couple of quick screw downs. So as you can see, over the span of just a few minutes, we've already made a substantial improvement to the front soundstage in our 550 or your 528, 35. For those of us lucky enough, not myself not included, the M5. But this car is pretty amazing. You should check it out at www.dinancars.com for more information on this beautiful S3 550i. And I'll just tighten everything up. Be very conscientious when you're doing this. We are going to be, your tool will be slightly different, but we are close to the glass, so just be conscientious of that. You're not going to obviously be up here wrenching down on anything, but always keep metal covered near the glass. Everything nice and snug. And with everything snug and in place, we take our grill. You can see the underside, it's just a series of clips. We line them up and gently apply firm, uniform pressure down like so, and it snaps right back into place. And we have just completed our center channel upgrade. All right, everyone, so we've got our center channel completed. Let's start on the passenger front door. I always recommend starting over here just so that you get a better feel. So should something go awry, it's not a door you're closing every day. You could take a couple days to get the parts I'm just kidding. You're not gonna break it. But I always start over here and just work my way around. So let's get started. Super straightforward. We have two areas we're gonna be working with. We're gonna remove this plastic trim panel from around the handle itself. Then we're gonna remove this piece. And this piece, it's very straightforward, but it's very, very, very particular with how it must be removed. So that being said, we start up here. Again, plastic tools. If I hear about you guys using metal tools on this panel, I'm coming to your garage and we're gonna have a chat about why you're not listening. So, plastic tool, we come up here from behind. Actually, you know what? I start up here, like so. You can see it's already kind of freed itself up. We come out, we come back. See, I'm just working back and just pops out, pops out, pops out. Now here's where I need you to come around. And you can see there's a clip right here. And then what we've done is we've gone up from the underside and we've lifted up. And then we carefully pull out. Also back here on this edge, as I do it, I lift forward, or out rather, and then I come to the front. Like so. You see, this is what we were unhooking. So this was in like that, and then now what we were doing up here, you can see we were doing this. So when it's in there nice and snug, it's like so, but when we need to pop it out, we lift up and then we carefully lift out like so. And that's the most challenging part of this entire process. So with that done, back here in the back, we have that's a T30. Torx T30, which is included in the Bavsound toolkit. I'm using my tools right now because I don't have my Bavsound kit with me, but our kit has all of these tools in there for you. So we take this bolt out. It's going to be the same bolt as this, so you don't have to worry about confusing them, but make sure you put it over here and don't lose it. All right, so that's out of the way. Now we're going to move over to the door handle, which this is a little tricky. You can't goof it up, but there's not a lot of rhyme to this. Again, we want pressure, so using our panel tool, it kind of pops out. It just seems like right now it's actually kind of good you guys are seeing me do this because it's very likely the case that you will be going through this too. Now, what I want to do, perfect, it's free now. There, okay, so you get the bottom free and you come over here and lift out, and I'll show you what I was actually doing there. So what we did is we freed this back clip. This is a little clip. It snaps in right there. And with that free, then we came up under this bottom edge and we unhooked this. So what we're doing is we're freeing the back, freeing the bottom, and then pulling out like that. So, and then this will pop right out. And just be a little conscientious with this. You don't want to snap that. With this out of the way, again, very careful. And another Torx T30 is revealed behind the handle. And believe it or not, that is all that is holding the door panel on your upwards of $100,000 vehicle. It comes off at this point. I kind of like to start up on this front edge, again using our tool like so. Get our fingers behind there, and then we start working around. Sorry about that. We start working around with our plastic tool, and basically what we're doing, and I'll show you once the panel is off, there's a series of plastic clips around the outer perimeter of the door. We're going to free those and then extract the panel from the door itself. And I like to use my fingers. You just get a better feel for things. You guys can see what I'm doing. This is always snug back here. So as you come around to these guys, you might need to use the tool. So we've got our panel loose, and now at the top it snaps off as well, but we need to be conscientious of this because this is our door lock mechanism. So we come from this front edge. Actually, the new one, this is a F10. We lift up. That's right, the new ones lift up. We come off like so, and you can see this is free now. And then we just come right off like that. And that is going to reveal a whole bunch of magic behind the panel. So we're going to start with this door panel. If you've had other BMWs, this is exactly the way they've all been done for the last probably 15 years. You can see this little white clip right here. you can see you just take it off like so, and you see this little hook. You make sure the door handle is closed, and then it goes back in when you put it back together. So we just take a lift at the base, lift up very gently, snaps right out. Now, a lot of you probably have opted for our sound deadening upgrade, which we do highly recommend, but there are some of you that will not do it. And if that's the case, you don't really need to take the panel out of this position here. You can do all of the work staying right here in the car. Again, we recommend taking everything out and sound deadening all of this, and we go over that in a separate video. We've already done the stage 1 in this car. We just wanted to show you how to get the doors off. So, but again, just so you understand, the factory speakers are attached using 3 8mm nuts. So we take the factory speaker off, the Bavsound speaker snaps right back in, we attach it right back, we plug it up, so on and so forth. It's very straightforward. But the part that is important to show you is the tweeter installation. This is a no-brainer, really is. However, just take note, again, of the fiber optic network. What we want you guys to do in here, you want to be very careful with this particular piece right here. This is what actually powers the fiber optics. So we want to unplug this back here on the back side of it and leave this plug in place. So now we'll do this. Just go ahead and show you guys how to do it for those of you that are going to be taking the whole thing apart anyway. Get all the plugs out of the way. We unplug our memory seats, and again, you just pull all of these out. They just lift right out. Not super complicated. We unplug our window control here. You can just pull straight down. The trickiest part of all of it is unsnapping some of these wire harnesses, interestingly enough. Boy, that one was in there. It's funny. This guy comes out. Again, be very conscientious of what you're doing here. Come down here, unplug our second set of fiber optics. Again, just pull down, come down all the way to the bottom where we find our light source, and this is always, boy, they have put about 900 clips down here for this light. That's a slight exaggeration, but there are plenty. Well, let's see. Let's go ahead and unplug the tweeter. That will make things a little bit easier. Unplug the mid-range. Now you can actually see what we're doing here. So we take our metal panel removal tool and we just pry up. Again, since we're not on the front of the door panel, and again, it's just little plastic clips. Look at that harness. That is impressive. And with that, our door panel is free. Look at that. Da, 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 da. Let's get this tweeter out of here. It's very straightforward. We've got a seam right here, and you can follow it around to the front. So effectively what we're going to do is we're going to come out and down. We come back here from the underside. Actually, is that better? It's probably, it's so tight back there. Let me think of that. Because what we're doing is we have a little tabs that go up like that, and so we need to compress this and then come out with it. So I guess it probably is better. Yeah, that's easy enough. So once we get one, we can do the rest with our fingers. So pop, pop. So you see 1, 2, 3. You can see these tabs. And then we've got this front edge that we unhook like so. And then it comes down. And you can see there's a little slot right here, and there's a little tab right here. Ultimately goes right back in here. So we'll go over that when we're putting them back together. Now, let's just assume that our factory tweeter's in here. We pull the foam off. Again, the factory tweeter snaps in exactly like our tweeter. You can see the little housing here. So it just comes out. So there's our gorgeous machined aluminum housing tweeter. Snaps right into the factory location, just like so. It's really that straightforward. So now we take our foam, we put it back together, this sloppy BMW foam. Now the key, as you can see, is you want to do it like this, and here's why. Because in designing this piece, it's a very suspicious. BMW actually is reliant on this foam to close the gap between the panel and the tweeter pod. So you've got to follow the tweeter wires out. You can see exactly where they're supposed to go. So make sure you just keep that as it should be. So this foam is all messed up anyways. Yours should be nicer. This is actually just really disgusting. I'm going to take that off. All right, so actually that's much better than it was. All right, so all of that being said, the way we put it back together, you can see this lip right here that this piece comes into. We want to match it up on this side. So we come in like so. And as I had mentioned, it's kind of hard to show this. So what we're wanting to do is hook that in there like so. This is actually good you guys are seeing this. It's being somewhat of a bear. There we go. Okay, so we come now, perfect. Come up, snap it in. And you have to be conscientious on this front side that everything is in place. And then you can see, perfect alignment, perfect seam. Plug in your tweeter capacitor harness, plug this into the mid-range, and then we're all completed. I wanted to mention something before we got too much further. When you're sitting over here with the door panel in your lap, if you're not doing the sound deadening material, it's very advantageous to have all of your mid-range and your tweeter handy right here, because that way you can work right here in your lap, do the tweeter, do the mid-range, and put all this on in about 20 minutes tops. So we're going to pause right here. We're going to come back, reinstall the door panel, and then head back to the rear deck. We are back. Everything is completed. We've installed our mid-range. We've installed our tweeter. Now we need to get everything back together. So for those of you that went ahead and took the whole panel off, applied the sound deadening and stuff, you will have to put this whole harness back together. So watch how we do that. Now, again, it kind of falls in place naturally as it should. So I kind of start up here with the fiber optics up top. We put our little clip back in place, and that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the harness. So we snap it in, snap it in. You remember all these guys from earlier? He's still there. I want everyone to know that I have Michael Bolton stuck in my head. Maybe you will have the same thing happen to you. It's only fair if I have it stuck, you guys have to have it stuck too. I'm using my eyeballs on my fingers now. I can't. So we get everything plugged in, snapped in. It's really not hard. We're just plugging stuff in. We learned this when we were 2. Okay. Don't forget anything. Make sure you get your windows, your upper and lower fiber optics. This one's always easy to overlook. Why am I saying fiber optics? It's just lighting. Okay, so we get that done. Get everything taped back down. Check, check, check. Seat controls. Now remember, as we discussed earlier, we don't use the tweeter connectors any longer. So all we're worrying with is, again, the one coming from the factory amplifier. So to confirm on other doors, just find the wires that match here, and those are the ones we don't use. So we put that out of the way. We plug this into the blue connector, and then we plug this into our tweeter. You see, we've left quite a bit of wire back here. We like to keep things, we like to give you plenty of room. We've given you a wire tie, just to keep things nice and neat back here. So we are perfectionists. We take everything and we tie it up and we keep it nice and snug right here. And if you're really particular about this kind of stuff like I am, you'll grab a pair of wire cutters and cut it off. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. That's just us being anal. Again, we won't be using this, so just tuck it up here out of the way and everything as well. So our tweeter's connected. The last thing we do, we come through, again, make sure the door handle is closed. We reinsert this, snap it in, and our panel is ready to go back onto the door. Now, if you recall, again, we start with this front edge. We start up here, like so, and then we just make sure our lock is lined up, like so. And the door panel is going to naturally settle. You'll feel all the little clips realign themselves, and then we just push. And we have reinstalled our door panel. Now the piece that I do want to show you, it's just going to take a second, so bear with me. I want to show you guys getting this piece back on, and this, I guess, only because I want you to put your car together perfectly. Now, before you do all of this, I should of course have mentioned, I want you to turn the car on and make sure the speakers are playing. We 100% quality control all of our product, but we still, things can happen in shipping, so we always want you to just turn the radio on real quick, make sure there's sound. We don't have to get a full audition, we just want to make sure it's playing. So with that completed, we know we are good to go. So, that's why you're watching this video beforehand, right? Hopefully you're not watching it live while you're doing it. Okie doke. So with that secure, again, I just want to go over this with you guys. Again, we hook here, so we come in, like so. We make sure we are lined up there. And we go through and we line up every little clip. And then I think I might have goofed that up. Again, this is all well and good that you're seeing this. You can't goof it up. You just have to make sure everything is perfectly aligned. And if it isn't, then it doesn't go in. And that's actually good, because that means it was designed properly. So the issue we're having back here is this guy. There we go. So I think he wants to go in there first. There we go. Okie doke. So the way it's actually working better organically, starting from the rear and then working our way towards the front with everything aligned. Perfect. Now it is perfectly flush. And now we have this guy, which again, remember coming off, it was a little tricky because of this tab. Well, it's still a little tricky going on, but again, it just takes a couple of seconds. So I got to tell you guys, I can't get this Michael Bolton out of my head. I'm not super pleased with that, as you can imagine. Goes on just like that. You see, perfect, super snug, tight. We have completed installing our front speakers in our F10. So at this point, we're going to pause, have a little water, maybe you guys answer some emails. Alas, we are here in the rear deck of our F10. This could also be an F30. Quite frankly, it's the same. We just pop this grill out, and much like the center channel, 6 or 5 bolts, a couple screws out, a couple speakers out, a couple new ones in. So again, we want to start on this front edge, plastic panel removal tool, no metal back here, guys and gals. So we come down around like so. Come around. You guys see this? Come around, and then we lift up. Use our fingers here, and you can see once this grill is up, we then lift it towards us. And this is some fabric that you'll find in there. Sometimes the glue stays adhered. Most of the time it'll fall out just because of the heat, the exposure. That's the 5 o'clock express you're hearing. All right, so we've got the grill out. As you can see, we've already got the Bavsound Stage 1 in the car. But just like the front center channel, again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Torx T20s that we need to remove. Pull the speakers out. There's really no sense in showing you guys this again. Out with the old and with the new. So the important thing to note here is that we've got these little tabs, and they hook in. They don't hook, but they kind of slide in like so. And then we just uniform, firm pressure, snap back down, and we're done. And we do the same thing on both sides. So that does not get any more straightforward. All right, everybody, so here we are up in the driver's seat. We've just installed our Stage 1 in our 550, our F10. I wanted to go over a couple settings, and this is kind of applicable across the majority of the product lines, but specifically here in this 550, I've noticed, depending on the music source you're using, so depending on if you're using an actual DVD, or CD rather, we're gonna have the best overall sound quality from a disc, of course. Our external devices, you've got your thumb drive, obviously. We've got our auxiliary input. Some of you might have opted for the full Apple interface, so that your lightning connector is directly plugged into your device, and we're extracting music that way. So again, that's very high sound quality. It's not quite a disc, but it's very close. So, however, the most important thing is the majority of the time you're either going to be streaming music through A2DP, through your Bluetooth, or you're going to be just using a generic auxiliary input, like so. And if that's the case, I kind of want to go over these settings with you. Kind of a byproduct of upgrading the speakers in the car is that because of slight differences in efficiency, our speakers are markedly more efficient than the factory speakers. There is an audible difference in the bass response in the vehicle. So you can kind of see how I have these settings. I've got the bass down several notches, and again, this is all personal preference. You're not going to damage anything, but you really never need to trend higher than flat. So here on our bass settings, you never need to be over that with the Stage 1 installed, because what happens is the woofers get too it gets too bottom heavy, and the woofers start to kind of bottom out and choke a little bit. So we don't need that. I found, truth be told, through most of my listening, and I tend to like bass heavy stuff, to be honest. I don't need it any higher than that. I find this to be a very nice balance. And your treble, of course, you're going to change that. That's going to change depending on, quite frankly, your age. I mean, the older we get, the less sensitive we are to higher frequencies, so we're going to kind of boost this. So we're going to go, you're not going to hurt anything. But again, I've kind of found that 4 plus 4 plus 3, somewhere around there, that tends to balance everything out, and that sounds the way we've designed it to sound. This is the setting for most of our music sources that we found. Again, this all is adjustable depending on our own taste. Again, thanks so much for stopping by. Enjoy your Stage 1 speaker upgrade. Should you need anything else, you can check us out at bavsound.com. We're all over the internet. You know how to find us. We're on the East Coast. Don't call too late. Thanks so much. We'll see you guys soon.